In running against Donald Trump, Jeb Bush made a prediction about his highly unusual Republican rival. He said Trump was a chaos candidate and that he would become a chaos president. Bush fared badly in the primaries, but that prediction is proving remarkably accurate. In this last week, Donald Trump has thrown grenades into the American healthcare system and the Iranian nuclear deal, exploding the existing frameworks, but with no clear replacement or strategy or solution. In the first months of Trump's presidency, what was most striking was the lack of any actual accomplishments. Various lists have been compiled of the things Trump promised to do on day one of his administration. Label China a currency manipulator, start repealing Obamacare, begin building the wall. He kept only a handful of his promises. Mostly he was talk and not much action. The world noticed. Last month, among the many insults that Trump volleyed toward North Korea, he sent one China's way. On September 3rd, he tweeted that the U.S. was considering stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea. This was obviously a dig at China and a massive threat to the global economic system. Were America to stop trading with China, it would be a seismic event, almost certainly producing a global recession. In the past, the Chinese have responded angrily to any such threats from Washington, always zealous about articulating and defending their national interests. This time they responded by saying nothing. They didn't bother to reply. Beijing seems to have understood it's Donald Trump. Don't take it too seriously. Now, perhaps sensing that he was increasingly seen as a paper tiger, Trump in recent weeks has become much more assertive. While he has still been unable to accomplish much by way of major policy, despite having majorities in both houses of Congress, he has become much more aggressive in his rhetoric and executive actions. On the environment, healthcare, and foreign policy, Trump has decided to act, but not in a strategic manner with a new policy carefully thought through, bolstered through consultations with key allies, and then comprehensively implemented. No, instead it is a series of unilateral actions, speeches, executive orders that disrupt existing policy without actually replacing it with an alternative framework. The result in healthcare will be uncertainty, pain, and confusion. Various groups and state governments will go to court. Insurers and healthcare providers will seek administrative reviews and clarifications. People will find it even harder to plan for the future and bank on having access to healthcare. In foreign policy, the damage might be even greater. The United States is now blasting an international agreement it is a sworn party to without exiting the agreement. It is taking pot shots at an international framework and then yet staying within it, sort of. The result is a foreign policy that is not just unpredictable, but incoherent. Trump has now signaled to countries like North Korea, never make a deal with America, because even if we sign, we might still upend the whole arrangement anyway. In his speech on Iran, Trump made the bizarre claim that other countries think in 100-year intervals. Even if this were true, which it isn't, Trump's actions suggest that his administration cannot even stay the course for a few years, let alone 100. Donald Trump's national security team, the so-called grown-ups, have signed on to this contradictory policy toward Iran, which is a sad sign perhaps that they value their jobs more than their reputations. Republicans used to pride themselves in being the party that was serious about foreign policy, committed to conservative values like order, continuity, and credibility. Instead, they have now as their leader an impetuous, mercurial showman who scorns any such stability. The result is just what Jeb Bush predicted: chaos. And let's get started.